Hello everyone, I've been asked how I got this character to this stage at about year 20. So let's go through everything one by one. The original question was like, how did you get it to a base speed of 5.6? I think for water that's quite normal. Say if you look at the Moonjade, I'm getting 0.55 from here, 0.42 from here, that's +1, and 572818. That's another +1, so that's +3, +2 already. So like from the skills, I'm getting +2. So that's 3 base, and I'm having another 75%, another 1.5. I think that's quite normal if you equip enough skills with plus movement distance or movement speed. Oh, sorry, that's a movement distance. All right, okay. So obviously we got some from our leg gear and our because of how underweighted we are at the minute. Right. Okay, let's go through how I got to this stage. One thing at a time. So like first of all, you will see my stats is relatively high. This is an imprinted character, and I counter picked on my weekly skills. So basically, let's go to main menu first. So basically, like as you can see, once you input a character, once you hover over it, it tells you like what the original stats are. We can see we are weak on strength, on constitution, on will. So that's the three we are going to pick on our starting trait. Ideally, like strength, will, and constitution. But I think I didn't pick constitution. I picked comprehension instead, but that's fine. Like so basically that's the way to, so you select your inputted character and counter pick to make your character all around with good stats. Also I imprinted the Ethan Jade, so like I guaranteed my 5 good trait from my imprint, and that also like some of that those traits also increased my stats. So if you look here, so for example, this one I got 10% on all of them and +6. I'm getting some more vitality and some more will from my basic stats. Also, like I'm getting 50 on everything from my Moonjade. So what happens now? So basically, what that means is that I'm having very high efficiency on all my skills, simply because like how much stats I'm having. Okay, right. The next is the number of skills I yeah. First, how about let's look at the number of books I've read. For Buddhism, that's like random. I didn't need it. I think I wasted time on 3 books on Buddhism. Well, I mean, we kind of used it to debate, to get support part with debate, but we from what the sides we don't really need it. So like I think we can cut down more time by just not ignoring Buddhism. For astronomy, like we've done 5 books. The reason we've done 5 books is because we picked up this skill like from JT, from one of the master tournament. And as you can see, it requires astronomy to for its efficiency. If we didn't pick this up, then I wouldn't have learned astronomy. Well, not 5 books anyway. At most 3 books for debate purposes. So I think, especially we don't really need it. I think it's possible. Like we just replace it with some other random skills. I think we'll be fine. So I think we could even cut more time down from astronomy. For craft, I did like 2 books and a little bit. The reason being like so that we can craft decent, somewhat decent accessories that increases our stats even further, and we can refine it easier. So like I've done a little bit of stone crafting. For Weave, then obviously we've done 5 books. The reason being is like to craft our weapon we want. This one I think is crafted. Now, for toxicology, obviously we've done 3. We go down to 3rd book, so we can make the prestige building that removes toxin for our villagers. I also got some prestige. For medical, we've gone as far as possible. We've done 6 books and 1 page. I think the 1 page on the 7th book came from debate. The reason being like is so we can fully utilize this Flower Valley's support special effect. So we don't have to read books for all of these skills, which saved us a lot of time. And I think for my talent, it's a bit hard to go any further, so I just stopped all the flowers Valley skills up to tier 4 from here. Right. Next, let's go to our skills. First about the talent we rolled. Obviously, Inard is a bit low, but that's fine. You can see we got a little bit of talent, say on sword, on blade, on hidden weapon here and there. I think that's because like the random big books that's dropped from enemies, and we just equip them. Like why not? We didn't really need them, but that's fine. Melody, I think because we got taught one of the skills. Like we got tutored by one of our friends. We did because of Flower Valley skill, so we automatically got the attainment. Like we didn't practice, we didn't waste any time on it. And so mainly we've done inner footwork, stunt. We didn't do any fist. The 10 attainment comes from Assassin's long fist, and then we've done fingers melee. Okay, so our skills. Right, as you can see, we've done all the water skills. All the water inard. We done one of the first Shaolin inard. That's because we got a random book dropped from enemies. We didn't go to Shaolin anyway. We've done the first 4 inard of Ermei. We didn't how do I put it? We didn't fully practice it because we didn't need to. Also, I've gone to the 4th grade because it increases our comprehension, so we can get a template to increase our comprehension, which help us to read the book. Yeah, and that's and okay. We picked up energizing practice from our adopted father. That's a special skill you can pick at the beginning of the game. And we picked this neutral skill up from Bloodhole. The reason being, like we got 15% power, like on our skills. That's just straight up good. And how do we pick it up? Like I think we went there to pick up a classic, and also we saved some possessed. So we just traded the book, and just learned it that way. We didn't go through all the support and things. Well, Yanshan also has some comprehension in art, but we didn't go for that because like it takes a long time to build up your support. The reason we chosen Ermei is because it's so close to our home, Flower Valley. So what skills have we learned? Like manually learned. For Ermei, we've done like 4 in art and then a couple of skills, footwork and stuff. We are not equipping them, so like really we didn't really need them. Well, we would just done it in the normal way. We just gathered the support and then learned it that way. For Flower Valley, we showed you like we didn't. Well, the reason being, the reason why I'm going this high is because I want my free attainment, so I don't need to read books elsewhere. For Xianyu, we've done all the in art, we've done all the finger skills. For footwork, we just stopped here, we didn't go all the way because it takes time to practice. And for stunt, also we just stopped at the first two skills. For Jieting, we done all the in art. You picked up the second footwork. Well, that's what I use in Jieting's tournaments if I happen to meet any. You need at least one footwork, so you can dodge skills to to be able to win the tournaments. We've done 3 stunts. The reason we've done 3 is because of this skill, which is pretty good. The heterodox effect is pretty good. It reduces a lot of damage for against certain enemies. Well, yeah. And this skill here, you guys, you can see, this is the only finger skills we got. We haven't got tutored. This is what I picked up from an internal master tournament at year 15, 16, around something like that. I didn't win that tournament, by the way. I just went into the tournament and helped Oda. And and one of the options is they teach you a random tier 2 skill, which luckily is a finger skill, and it's a very good finger skill. But I'm not sure if that's good because it requires astronomy as for its efficiency, and it kind of forced us to learn some astronomy. Right. Okay, so in terms of individual books, as you can see, this one we just read 1 page because this one from Shaolin we just read 1 page because we didn't actually spend time to read it. We just equipped the random job, and once we finished the first page, we just put it down. For Rame, we only done the 1 book. That's because we want the special effect to give us comprehension. For Flower Valley, as you can see, I didn't really read them. It's all complementary. That's Xianyu. So Flower Valley ends here. So it's all complementary. It all comes from our medical books. For Xianyu, we've done quite a few books because a lot of them I have equipped from some point of my playthrough. I didn't read this one. I could skip it because for Flower Valley we already pick up the attainment at tier 5. Yeah, and we just write the books up to the top. For Jieting, we haven't really read any book. We only read 2. That's because those 2 we have actually equipped. So that's kind of saved some time. We write a book from here for this one, and for the Blood Hole one we picked up, we bought because we want the special effect of 15% when we are happy, 15% power when we are happy. For energizing, we equip, we combat ride it, we combat it most of it in the starting valley. For fingers, for fist, okay, let's see stance first, footwork first. Basically we haven't learned anything. We gone to tier 4 Flower Valley. Most of the Flower Valleys ones again, they are all supplementary understandings from our medical books. The reason I gone to tier 4 is I want to pick up some free attainment, so I can get higher efficiency on other skills. But as you can see, I'm not equipping any higher skills. The highest I got is tier 6. The highest I'm equipping is tier 6. So yeah. Again, the ones I'm equipping, I'm reading it. The ones I'm not really reading it. I have read this one, but because the stats it provides is not very good, so it's later on got replaced. This is a waste of time. I didn't really use it, so I didn't really need to read it with it. I didn't really need to practice it. For this one, it wasn't that useful. We didn't really we used kind of used it in a very short period of in a very short window. I think we could have skipped the book on this one. I mean, it's to read. We got 4 pages of manuscript and 6 pages of transcript. So like it's a to read. So like we could have saved 20 days there. For start, again, like I hardly learned anything. This one we picked up from a random book. Why not? This one we are not really using, but we read the books. We spent 10 days read the book, and we spent 5 days consulting the art. Again, for most of the Flower Valley ones, they are just from we got the understanding just from the medical books. I read 3 because of the special effect for especially for those two. Like I wanted the special effect. This one I thought the special effect might be helpful, but it's not really that useful. It's alright, but it's not that great. For Journey, we didn't do the last breakthrough on this one, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't provide us a lot of stats anyway. This one we just read 1 book, and then we stopped all the learning all the Flower Valley skills. And again for Jieting, we've done 3 skills. We have read books for all of them because we at some point we have been equipping them. Now for fist, that's our good old ancestor long fist. For fingers, right. Basically, as you can see, we didn't learn anything except the one we picked from internal tournament from Jieting. For all the Flower Valley ones, I didn't read any book because we don't have effect yet. So like, it just starts. We just go CC all the way. Like we just get all the attainment from medical books as well. So for Xianyu, for whatever we don't use, we don't read the book. At some point I have been using those two. I have been equipping those two. So yeah. This one I think we wasted time on this one. Basically, it has when it hits, it has a chance to remove enemy armor or accessory. I thought removing enemy armor is really good because it can reduce a lot of enemy defense, and it can be very good. But but it turns out the chances of this happening is quite low, so we end up not using it. This one obviously we didn't read the book. We didn't read the book again. We read 6 pages. I'm not sure whether that's useful because the heterodox effect sounds very good, so that's why I read 6 pages of transcript. But it turns out it's probably not that great. We didn't have a chance to use it, so yeah. And this one we've done the hetero skill. We've deliberately chosen the heterodox effect because like most of the defense comes from your energy point. Ignoring energy points like just packs in so much damage. And I think that's basically it. We haven't actually learned any other skills. So like basically knowing your builds, like try to cut down the number of skills you're learning, like saves a lot of time. Also when you learn it, like yeah, let's go somewhere. Let's go back to our release first. Where's our release? Yeah. So basically, like I will kind of show you like how I usually do my breakthrough and reading. Well, probably we don't need to show you how to read the books, but like at least how to save time from breakthroughs. Leave. Okay, so basically, where's my tuning room? Yeah. So basically, let's pick up just any of the skills. Okay, so say for this sort skill. So what have we been doing? What have I been doing? So basically, I spent about 15 days on it. So like I say 15 days, like go to 17% or 18%. I usually just stop there. Because the reason like we are stopping at we are like using 15 days as a benchmark is because like 15 days matches up well with your time management. You can do a 5-day practice and then consult a skill and do a breakthrough, or you can like read a book, do like maybe read books twice, and then do a 15 to do a 5-day practice and do a 5-day like consult a skill or art, or maybe another 5 days somewhere else like that. You're not buying anything. Okay, so we don't want to start it. Okay, so now we break through. We aim to about 22 to 23. Like it depends how much brace we can pack up. So like we aim at 22 to 23 steps. So I mean like it can be quite on average. I think you can pretty much do it. Like you pretty much get 30 plus from each breakthrough. Not always, but most of the time, yes. I mean, we got a support, so all around days are quite high level. I mean, yeah. So as you can see, like on 23 steps, we are like getting around 40 points. And at this point, we are not getting much injury, and as you'll see in a minute, we won't get a lot of breast T instability or breast disorder. So like for TS for lower tier skills like tier 7 to 9, like we just gone through the bottleneck. That's fine. Like we can how do I put it? We can just come back to practice the rest if we need to. If we are using the skill, we can just keep using the skill in the combat and get it to 100. So it's not costing time. But so like as you can see, I'm only picking up a little bit, maybe 50, less than 50, I would say. But because how much price we can uh, power up now, so we can have minus almost 300 per month. So like it's reasonably safe. Even if you go to 24 steps at our stage, it's not a big deal. If we have to go to 24 steps, it's not going to do much damage to us. But at very early game, when your points are really low, then you want to aim at maybe 22 steps just to keep it safe. You don't want to go to 24 steps very early in the game. Right. Okay, so the next thing we can do to save time is on where we have traveled. If you look through all the maps to see where we have a station, you will see like I've been to very few maps. First of all, like we got the 3 maps we start from our beginning, and then we got the Fulong Altar, which is in the at the start of the game there is adventure like a pool of blood adventure. Like if you choose to save someone some people at the end. It will give you a free station at somewhere else. Which what we got is Fulong Alta. I don't think I've been there ever actually, but that's fine. We've been to Ermei, of course. We've been to Xuanyu. We've been to Jieqing. That's three. And we've been to Bloodhole. We've been to Yanshan. The reason we've been to those two places is to pick up a classic. If the classic wasn't there, then I would have been to some other places instead. So really, apart from our starting area, we only really been to 5 sections of the map. Like not just 5 sections, actually five small maps. I mean, each province has 3 sections, and we only really been to 5 different sections apart from our starting area. I think that's been saving a lot of time as well. Also, I think another thing you might wonder is how did I develop my village like this in about 20 years? Right, first of all, you need to be catching villagers for using ropes. I think I still got quite a lot of ropes in my storage. Yeah, I am still having a lot saved up. Basically, every time I see a material merchant, I buy all the basic tier textile material I can find. Right. So, as you can see, like I didn't really need a observatory, the astronomy building, but yeah, that's fine. We started the second storage, that's fine. Basically, as you can see, we only practiced the first book of the law. So like we basically so that's our money making buildings. Okay, we got one on the side of our training room, but that's fine. That's you always get your training room. That's fine. Again, like we got the uh medical buildings. We got some medical buildings, but to gather prestige, allowing us to buy books. But that's not what we are talking about. What we are talking about is like how I managed to put up so many buildings. But first of all, you need villagers. You need villagers to work the buildings. You need villagers to gather resources. You need so we started. We were building really early, and we bought, as I previously said, we bought all the textile materials and made a lot of ropes to with it and cast a lot of mobs, so we can at least, even if they are not very efficient, but at least we got someone to work the building. Secondly, I go to the city quite a bit. But the reason of we're going to the city is because usually we have a lot of people in cities, so we can have a few free merchant, so we can just have a 12-day travel maybe. Like let's say, I mean, even 20-day travel if you don't have any month. So to pick up some goods in the merchant, and if we want, we can actually learn the um, learn the learn the first book of law from people that's poor. But we haven't because we managed to pick up a book from a merchant. Now, secondly, when we travel, say if I'm going to Jieqing from here, so say if I'm going to Bloodhole from where I am, like I first go to Xuanyu, and then I go to Jieqing, and then I stop then I go to Bloodhole. The reason being, like say if we go to Bloodhole here, we spend 24 days, but we go to Jieqing, we spend 18 days, and I will show you, and it takes 6 days from Jieqing to Bloodhole, so you are not wasting any time by stopping more often. But the more often you stop, the more merchant you are going to see, and the more things, the more likely you are going to see a blueprint of the buildings you can build, and the more chance you are going to see material merchants where you can buy materials for rope. So as I said, you take 18 days here and another 6 days. Like I'm not wasting any time at all, but it just allowed me to pick up a few free meetings with merchant. Right, so support wise, we've only gathered what we need. Also, join tournament if you can, like because it gives a huge amount of support. I mean, especially, for Xuan News, for example, like we got a 10% extra support cap. So like I think at team 5, around team 5, I think we done the that's about 8 after team 5. I think we are at the time I think the support cap was at 90, and that was maybe 18-19 years, and we done a master tournament here, so we could learn. So we raised the support cap to 90% plus 10% at 100%, which allowed us to learn both tier 1, tier 2 in us at the same time, so that we don't have to travel to Xuanyu sect as often, if that makes sense. Because usually when you at tier 2, you come here to learn in advance. At tier 1, you have to come back again. But because we raised the support cap, we didn't have to do that. Also, even on lower tournament, when people need help, when you help them, like they will support, you will gain support from them. So what happened? So as a result, when you defeat a salt team, when the maximum support increases, you don't need to gather support anymore because you already banked a lot of support through the tournament, which again saved quite a bit of time. Hope this video helps. Anything else, please let me know. See you next time.